right, what's up, what's up, everybody? It is late night Keefy, and I am not in the Bay Area. I am in Milwaukee for Milwaukee Metal Fest. I'm pretty damn excited. I don't sound excited because I'm exhausted, and my love is here. What's up, Melissa? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being my rock in the tough times, even though great things are ahead. So I've been traveling all day. I had plane delays, crying babies, like infinitesimally, surprisingly small babies traveling on planes, seemingly just after they were, forcibly removed from uteri. I don't know what the plural of uteruses is. I guess uteri. And yeah, what a long day, but worth it. I'm on a little business/pleasure trip to Milwaukee from Milwaukee Metal Fest. That's what we're here to do today. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to preview the entire festival. I'm going to do some Milwaukee centric things for shiggles. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I don't have my usual full gear setup. I have kind of a portable setup. And I don't hear myself too well, but I think it's working. I drank a coffee at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Harold, what's up? Eric, what's up? Lungsrud is here. Ken Kaltenbach is here. What up, brother? How are you? We are gonna break down and shake down Milwaukee Metal Fest. Don't know if my signal is very strong either. I'm in an Airbnb. Sounds good. Great. Thanks, Boo. I figured out what the problem was with last week's live stream, so we will not have that problem when I do another live stream tomorrow for my weekly show. But I'm out here to cover Milwaukee Metal Fest with my buddy Randall Hicks, who usually covers things like Riot Fest for us. He shot Tool for us, Sasanta, which was the Primus Pussifer A Perfect Circle tour. And I'm going to be here all weekend until Monday when I fly back to the West Coast. And then I'm packing up and moving out of San Francisco, and I'm getting married in a month and 2 weeks, 6 weeks exactly from today, give or take a day, to the love of my life. Caw, yo. So let's do the thing. Let's talk about Milwaukee Metal Fest. I prepared this little shebang-a-bang. What's up, Toby? Harold, thanks for being here. Always appreciate you, pal. I'm really excited. First and foremost, I'm going to see a gang of bands that I love, including a couple I have never seen. I saw Acid Bath once back in the day. I'm going to see them again. It's insane to me. I'm going to try to bag some interviews with some pretty cool bands, just brief ones for our podcast, not our usual stuff, but I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm really am. And we're also covering Satan Fest in Iceland. So that's awesome. We're very busy here at Ghost Cult. Thanks for everybody watching. We got a lot of people watching on the tube of you and TikTok and the gram. I appreciate you all. Loud and clear, just a little blurry. Oh man. Yeah, I see that it looks blurry on the gram, but it looks good on YouTube, I think. Yo, Wolverine Kills is here. Speaking of people I can't wait to see and hang out with again. Wolverine Kills, one of the best to ever do it, and a true homie and a real one. So I'm up here. I'm going to preview the whole festival. I'm going to talk about what I'm excited about, a little bit about it, the history of the fest. Not too much, not the usual deep dive that I might do. And I'm going to break down the day splits as well as the stage times and potential overlaps and the bands I'm actually going to try to see. What's up, Chasing Vinyl is here, a favorite of mine on good old TikTok. But yeah, I'm just pumped to be out here. This is my second festival of the year. I might hit a third later in the year. So that's pretty cool. All right. Um, let's see. Let's see. First and foremost, the minutiae. I did a thing last week I don't do a lot of, which is a reaction video, and immediately we were banged by YouTube. Yeah, man, I'll see you tomorrow night, brother. I'll at least find you at the rail, even if I can't hang at the rail, but I will at least find you. Trust, I'm gonna find you, and we're gonna spend some time. But should be a fun weekend. Thanks for the heads up on the all and the everything of it. Um, so I did a live stream reacting to Watch Mojo's top 30 modern metal bands since the year 2000. It's a pretty farcical thing, as most Watch Mojo things are absolute rage bait, but it was fun. It was fun, I'll say that. We also did a review of Iron Maiden's Burning Ambition documentary. I also just recently saw the Blood Incantation documentary. I'm waiting for my vinyl package to show up at the house, and got to review that also. So little time, so many reviews. One of the honors, really truly, one of the thing I'm so honored that I got to interview Craig Worden. You know him best from Shudder to Think, one of the original great post-hardcore bands of the late 90s and 2000s. And this is a band that I saw in small clubs in New York City coming up. Made me want to play in a band, like a lot of bands did back then. Craig, Shudder to Think had songs on the Velvet Goldmine soundtrack. You might not know it was them, but it was. Craig always had kind of a musical composer scope to his writing. The band was very diverse and multi-talented, and he's gone on to score award-winning films and television, including the current hit series Yellow Jackets, which a lot of people are apparently huge fans of. I haven't seen the show, but I heard it's awesome. So I interviewed Craig. His deluxe version of his recent album is out now. Shudder to Think is working on a new album. He dropped some breadcrumbs about the coming new music in 2027. And he's humble, and I was humbled to talk to him. Seriously, great interview, great dude. Also, we're starting up our series again where we interview the staff of Ghost Cult. Chris Elliott, you know his videos from the internet from Cell Arts and Black Angeles. He, like you, Wolverine Kills, is up at the rail, and he videos entire shows and he puts them up on YouTube. He's out here doing the Dark Lord's work, as I like to say, and he's just a super awesome dude. We talked a lot about charity. He's a veteran. Um, you know, hopefully he's going to even start doing some interviews for Ghost Cult also. And again, this isn't this week's show. This was last week's thumbnail, but I will be back tomorrow night after the Metal Fest. I'm going to come back here and do my show, The Weekly Ritual, every Thursday, mostly every Thursday or Friday on the web and on podcasts. And that's where we break down the entire week in the world of metal. And it has been a doozy. So super interesting times. All right, moving along. And here's our tip menu. If you're feeling tipsy, not our real ones or our everydayers, but we do make some money from affiliate marketing and some advertising. We are monetized on YouTube, pushing close to 7,000 subs. I know it's not a lot, but it's cool that it's cool. Oops. What is? Oh, echo, echo, echo. All right. I got rid of that. But if you're feeling tipsy, you want to give us a super chat or a super like or a super thanks or a hype is a new thing on YouTube now. Hype the video. Um, the fun thing about using StreamYard for this is that what I can do is I can download clips from this later and upload them to the gram. So if the gram is looking blurry for you folks watching, I can absolutely improve that on a replay. Plus, it'll be on our podcast. So if it looks good over here on my screen, I know on YouTube and Twitch, we're good. But yeah, if you're feeling tipsy, drop us, buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. We take Cash App, we take Venmo, we take PayPal, we take all the things because running a music website is a lot like being a DIY band. All right. Now, while you're here, let's talk about Milwaukee Metal Fest. This lineup is incredible. This is the third year of the Metal Fest since it came back. Milwaukee Metal Fest was a huge thing in the 90s and 2000s. It literally helped put extreme metal and in a lot of ways hardcore and death metal also. Extreme metal, death metal, grindcore, black metal. Some of the first bands from Europe played Milwaukee Metal Fest. The linchpin bands of the US metal scene played Milwaukee Metal Fest. And so you can't undervalue how important it was. Jack Koshik was the original founder. He also put on festivals in New Jersey that I attended and played. Not great, but Jamie Josta took it back over a couple of years ago and really resuscitated the brand, and it is phenomenal. We covered it a couple of times. I'm finally out here now. This is one I've been trying to get to, and I could not be more pleased with this. I need a vacation in the worst way because I'm just so fried mentally and emotionally lately. But I'm going to see a lot of people I care about, a lot of friends in the scene, new friends I'm hoping to make and see. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever been to a festival and what your favorite festival is or what festival you aspire to go to. I feel like festivals are like European travel for Americans. They live in the ether of our minds. We want to go. We want to experience this. We see the videos of Wacken Open Air and Bloodstock Open Air that Ghost Cult always covers, or Ripple Fest all over the States and the world. So yeah, man, just absolutely killer lineup, and we're going to break this down day by day in a minute. Of course, Milwaukee is famous for serial killers and cheeseheads and the Green Bay Packers and the Milwaukee Bucks and the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm going to go to a baseball game tomorrow, and then I'm going to come back and go to the metal show, see if I can fit in some sightseeing here and there. We'll see. I'm kind of fried already from today's travel. I think a good night's sleep will fix me up. And I do believe that I'm going to, and my back is kind of hurting lately, but I keep tweaking it. We'll see how we do. So yeah, man. And of course, Wayne's World and the famous, they drive from Chicago to Milwaukee, which is, like an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hour drive to go see. They drive to the Alice Cooper show. They watch Alice Cooper. They go backstage and hang out with Alice Cooper. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. I actually didn't bring my Wayne's World hat with me. I wore it all over Chicago, and people were like, but yeah, Cooper, man, he's still vibing off of this cameo appearance. But I got to give mad shout out to Jamie Josta. Jamie Josta is out here again, really holding up metal and waving the flag. You may not love Hatebreed, they've been around 30 years, which is hard to believe, over 30 years now. And what he has built with Hatebreed on a handful of riffs and catchy choruses is amazing. Hosted Headbangers Ball when it came back in the 2000s. Not only did he bring back Milwaukee Metal Fest and make it a legitimately awesome thing, he also resurrected Summer Slaughter. Now, it will never be like it was. You can make a case that Milwaukee Metal Fest will, to see like Death for the first time at Milwaukee Metal Fest, or Cannibal Corpse, or Terrorizer, or Lockdown, or Lock Up, or, like Cradle of Filth played it. All these bands, they were some of their first most important gigs with this thing at the gates. For him to bring these two things back and do what he does for metal is amazing. And, it's not just, we'll talk about it later, but it's not just bands. It's actually like a whole community, and it's a small festival. It's really only like 5,000 or 6,000 people total. So it's intimate at the Rave and the Eagle here in Milwaukee, which I can't wait to go to for the first time. Ghost Cult has covered a bunch of shows there, but I'm really pumped. Let's just talk really quick about the headliners. Acid Bath is having a moment. This was a cult band. This was as underground as underground gets. Dax Riggs went on to a solo career. Sammy Duet went on to Goat Horror. I never thought they were going to really make a comeback. I never thought they were going to make a comeback. I really thought this band was done. Dax Riggs is notoriously a pure artist at first and does not care about the music industry, does not do the trappings of the music industry at all. Killswitch Engage is the Saturday headliner. I'm a huge fan. They're not for everybody, but they really are the most popular and successful American metalcore band ever. They sold millions of records. I'd love to see Howard pop up with them, but I know it's probably unlikely. Love Jesse. We've done a bunch of interviews with the band. Joel's parents are like some of my favorite people I've ever met regarding the music world. Jesus Christ, Supercars here. What's up? What's up? What's up? So Killswitch Engage is headlining Saturday, and then Sunday headlined. I didn't mention this. This Acid Bath shot is by Evil Rob for Ghost Cult. This was their very first comeback show in New Orleans when they first reunited. This shot is by Rich Price, probably a Bloodstock open air many years ago. Rich has now stepped down from Ghost Cult. And here's Ministry. Al Jorgensen has been killing it on tour with the re-recordings of the Squirrely Years albums, as he calls them, which I think is hilarious and very tongue-in-cheek. He just did a whole run of Filth Pig with Paul Barker coming out and doing a song at every show. They just did Sick New World. I don't know what set list they will play, but I would love to. I'm just happy to see Ministry. At any rate, I photographed them back in 2018 when I was still doing concert photography at Urban Plaza in New York. Pretty good photos, a lot of fun. He's got a killer band. His band is like the Avengers. They're incredible. It's like an all-star band and Al. So if Paul shows up, that'd be amazing. If they do anything off of Filth Pig, that'd be amazing. I'm here for it. If not, and it's just the hits, I'll take that too. This is the we've been hearing that this is the farewell tour or run for Ministry for a long time, and it very well could be. So I'll take it. Now let's just talk about the day splits. There's the pre-party tomorrow night at 6 p.m. There's some pretty killer opening bands. Justin and friends are going to do cover sets in the weekend. I think they're doing Slayer on Saturday. Amura is the headliner, co-headliner of the pre-party, sponsored by Blue Grape Music, run by former members of Roadrunner Records, former owners. Pretty cool. Not the biggest Amura fan, to be honest with you, but like I'll catch some of their set before I come back here and do my show. Very excited to see Justin friends. He's got kind of an all-star bunch of guests, which is sick. And then so Friday, there are basically 3 stages at these 2 venues that are adjoining. So your main Eagles Ballroom, Acid Bath, Obituary, Paul Bear, Agalop doing a special set, Hyrax, Love Caton, Death Angel doing all of Act 3, Hypnotic Desire, and someone else, Incantation at the Rave Hall, Nunslaughter, Violence, who just just wrapping up their tour with Death Angel, Dusk, Vomitory, Insight, the Homies, Eyes of the Living Dust, and a few others. The Rave Bar on Friday has Jeffrey Nothing, formerly of Nothing Face. Mushroomhead, Flesh Parade, Creeping Death, the Homies, Blood Vulture, and a few more. And Jamie Jost, a live podcast, which should be super interesting. And then Saturday, lost the light. Let me switch my light out. I look like I'm in witness protection. And then Keith ratted and they killed him. All right, that should be fine. Sorry about that. It's like a wild card thing when I'm not at home, right? Eagles Ballroom stage, Killswitch Engage, Suicidal Power Trip, Males, Iron Reagan, Macabre. Finally, I'm going to get to see Macabre. Throng, one of my favorite bands ever, and a few more. Rave Hall, Agalok doing another special set, Machine Head. Gotta say, if Machine Head does the beach balls, I'm going to try to catch one and bring one home. After the Burial, haven't seen them in forever. Armored Saint, one of my favorites, Sacred Reich, Havoc, Internal Bleeding, the Homies from Queens, Generation Kill, which is Rob Dukes' band. Rob Dukes back in Exodus now. Casket Robbery, fans and friends of mine. and Suffering, I believe. Let's see, who else? And then also Nunslaughter, one of the biggest rising bands right now. They got a new album coming out soon. I'm really excited about. Napalm Death, always great. The greatest even. Kind of wish they had gotten Melvins and Napalm Death to be on this together and maybe do their collaborative album. Someone's going to do this. Justin Friends is playing Saturday, a complete Slayer cover set. I'm really excited about this. And Heavy Hitter and a few others. So pretty cool. And then Sunday's Day Splits. Ministry, John Bush playing the Anthrax Years. I've been dying to see this. Napalm Death, Also Perish doing their 20th anniversary tour. I'm super pumped for this. Let's see, Still Suffer, Trip to the Morgue, and a few other, Waking the Cadaver, Integrity. Now, we were hearing that Human Furnace has been having some health problems, but I guess they're still going to play. Go buy some Integrity merch and help that guy out. Uwada is not on the show anymore because they canceled their whole tour. Dead Guy, so pumped to see Dead Guy again. Haven't seen them since Milwaukee Metal and Beer Fest. Psycho Myco, so that's Mike from Suicidal Solo. Primitive Man, Incredible, the heaviest band ever, maybe. And then at the Rave Bar, Green Jelly. Electrous Nocturne, The Crosses, basically a band that does Die Kreutzen covers. Dead by Wednesday, Homies from Connecticut, and many more. These are some tremendous bands you don't want to miss. I will say that my typical move as an aging metalhead is that as I get older, I do less each day of a 3 or 4 day festival. So I think I can handle this. It's indoors. It's not in the heat. I can take breaks. I don't know if there's really places to sit down, but there's a courtyard with food. There's a metal market. I mean, I'm close enough in the Airbnb if something happens and I take a dip with my health, which has been a concern, to be honest. I could just come back here and knock out for a while. I believe there's ins and outs. There's re-entry, I think. And I'm media, so I should be able to get back in anyway, even if there isn't. No Liquid Death tonight, but I got this Polar Raspberry Lime. I have an embarrassment of Polar drinks right now here at the Airbnb. So yeah, great lineup. Now let's just really quick go through the set times because I think this is interesting. I'm always concerned about clashes, right? So let's just talk about the lineup with potential clashes. So let's see. I think I have this backwards. Of course I have it backwards. All right. Sorry about that. I'm very tired. So just Friday. Tomorrow night is like 5 bands. They start at 6. It's probably going to go till 11 or 12. I think I probably got 4 hours in me tomorrow. We'll see how I do. Hopefully it doesn't run too late. So Friday, VIP and early entry is at 12. General admission at 1. Dirt is the official first band on Friday. No real overlaps. Then just a live podcast for like 2 hours. I think that'll be interesting, if nothing else. So great. Jamie Johnston, if nothing else, besides being a champion for metal and really a legend in making metallic hardcore accessible to everybody, and becoming a huge band from a small place in Connecticut, not really even a major city. He's a brilliant marketer. He's a shameless self-promoter, which is what you need to be, and he's a brilliant marketer. So this is genius to have a podcast live. People are going to leave and be like, I saw Jamie do a podcast. It's going to be awesome. Then overlapping with Jamie, you have Eyes of the Living, Dawn of Ouroboros, who are great, and I probably will catch them. More to Scold, that's a kind of a clash. I do love More to Scold, old school metal band. Then Misery on the main stage, Cardiac Arrest, and Hyrax. Sounds like I'm going to be spending a lot of time at the Sumerian stage on Friday. After Hyrax, there's Blood Vulture and Insight. Insight, led by Richie Cavallera, Max Cavalera's son. Incredible band. If you like Lamb of God, you should love Insight. And And we have a new interview coming with that band soon. Pallbearer, who have been playing all of Foundation's Burden. Love me some Pallbearer, great band. Dusk, pretty up and coming band. Creeping Death on the main stage, killer band. I expect them to have a new album out soon. Death Angel doing all of Act 3. Jeffrey Nothing, Flesh Parade, Polka Dot Cadaver, and then Agalok is playing the first really long sets. Death Angel, Agalok, Polka Dot Cadaver is a great band, but I think most people are probably going to see Agalok. Violence is kind of overlapping with the end of Agalok. They've been killing it. Shout out to Ira Black. Monstrosity, who we just interviewed for their new album, which is incredible. I will try to catch them. And then Obituary, Always Killer, Nunslaughter, and of course Acid Bath and Incantation to close it out. So yeah, there's some tough ones there, but not impossible. Like, you don't have to sacrifice too much. Now let's do Saturday. And I think Saturday is hella interesting. Overall, I think there are a lot worse festivals with clashes. So Saturday starts with The Suffering at 1:25, followed by Justin Friends doing that Slayer set, followed by Casket Robbery on the Blue Grape stage. Those are the homies. Crush it live. Shout out to Corey and Megan Scheider. Love y'all. They also have great coffee and tremendous merch. I believe I have a Casket Robbery shirt in my suitcase to wear. Maybe I'll wear it Friday. Striking 13, Don't Know About You. Hope, Belushi Speedball, tremendous and fun band. Generation Kill, haven't seen them play in a while. Brick by Brick on the main stage, so a lot of hardcore there right in the start of the day. Prong, one of my all-time favorites. There are many interviews with Tommy Victor of Prong and Danzig. Hyrax, bro. Napalm Death and Hyrax. Dude, I love Caton and I love Barney. We just had a new interview with Barney talking about that Melvin's album, that collab album. So if you haven't seen it, check it out on our YouTube or podcast. So after Prong, then you got the first real bad clash of the day. Theranati, who I think is a black and death metal band, and Internal Bleeding, who are my homies from Queens. Rip Bill Tolley, the drummer who died, who was a fireman. I just got their new album on vinyl too. It looks like Smallpox Outbreak on a vinyl splatter. It's really fun. So that's a tough one. Then you have Human Artifacts, not familiar with them. Macabre, dude. I've been waiting my whole life as a metalhead to see Macabre. I have been a fan of Macabre since probably the mid 90s, before the Dahmer album. They literally have an album about Dahmer, whose apartment was down the block from the venue where the festival is. I'm so excited. I might have to buy like some Macabre merch because I have to. I think I need to. Then you have Havoc, Kill a New Song, just signed to Black to Black. Heavy hitter on the Black to Black stage. Iron Reagan. Now there's kind of a lot of sort of the end of one set, beginning of another, but these are all crushing bands, dude. Havoc, Iron Reagan, Heavy Hitter, Sacred Reich. Again, a high school Keefy. Could not believe I would be at this show with all these bands. We'll get an interview with Caton soon too. Omar is pretty close with him. He DMs us and texts us a lot. Then Castrator. So beside Casket Robbery, not a lot of female representation at this fest. Castrator is an incredible, brutal, extreme death metal band. Nails is probably going to be fucking jam-packed. Armored Saint, everybody knows my love of John Bush. Sworn Enemy kind of overlaps with Nails and Armored Saint, not great. And the end of Armored Saint kind of overlaps with Power Trip. Should be interesting to see Power Trip. They just signed a new record deal, and they're going to make new music. I don't know how you all feel about that. Drop a comment if you think that's okay or not. Maybe Riley would be okay with it. Maybe he wouldn't. We have one of the last interviews with Riley. I spent the whole night talking politics with him at Duff's Alcohol Abuse Center in Brooklyn. When we go there, Melissa, I'll show you the spot in the bar where we were talking. Then kind of interesting, Weekend Nachos, who's a band I interviewed not too long ago from Chicago, kind of retired, unretired now. After the Burial, haven't seen them in so long. And then Napalm Death, After the Burial, and Suicidal all kind of overlap. That sucks. That's not great. Like, I love Napalm Death and I love Suicidal. Why are you making me choose? I do want to see Suicidal with the new drummer. I really want a new album from this band, this lineup of Suicidal with Ty Trujillo and Ben Weinman. Knock Mystium, very controversial. Blake Judd. I was a huge fan. He has a very checkered past, but he has apparently cleaned up his act there. His last record was quite good. Knock Mystium is playing absolutely at the same time as Machine Head. That is brutal. But I think those two fan bases don't have a lot of overlap. I probably will check out Knock Mystium a little bit just to see the band and see how he's doing. And then, of course, Machine Head is in my fucking soul. That's one of my bands in my DNA. And then no overlap. Killswitch Engage on the Sumerian stage. That looks like 10:30 to midnight or 11:45. And then Agalok to close it out with another unique and exclusive set. So I think that's pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool. Let me know what you think of that interview, Ken. And here we go. Sorry, these are out of order, everybody, but we're just hopping around. We're hopping around. So Sunday, and again, on the third day of a festival, look at this shirt I'm wearing is like heart says pit, knees say balcony, but actually it's my back. My knees are not that bad. One knee is. One knee and one ankle, not too great. Back is fucked up. So let's see. So the last day of any festival, two things are true. I wear my Hawaiian shirt because it's fun Sunday fun day, and then I just do less. I'm gonna see less bands. I just can't do all the things. So I'm gonna be pretty picky this day. First band is Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre and Nine Dead and Trip to the Morgue. I'm curious about those bands. I've heard Nine Dead. I know Trip to the Morgue a little bit, but I might just show up late. Vacant Voice, don't know them. I think they're a hardcore band. Gourd Embrace, great name. Still Stayer, Dark Horse Prophet, Frog Mallet, Face Yourself, Surefire's Killer. And then we start to get to the bigger bands. Visceral Disgorge, Waking the Cadaver, Lecherous Nocturne. I'm definitely going to see them. What's up, Maggie? Thanks for watching. And then, let's see. Then we start getting into the later bands. So Dead by Wednesday and Primitive Man kind of overlap, but I think I can watch the beginning of Dead by Wednesday and then see all of Primitive Man, all of All Shall Perish, The Crosses, which again is a D. Crutzen cover band, and they're incredible. D. Crutzen right here from Milwaukee, one of the most famous band probably ever from Milwaukee. I have to see that show. A second Knock Mystium show. Neither of these are the most popular Knock Mystium album. Black Meddle, Meddle, which was Knock Mystium doing black metal and kind of Pink Floyd psychedelic space rock, which Blood Incantation does in a much more extreme death metal way instead of black metal, but just very interesting. Another set by Napalm Death. Would be fun to see if they're going to do a different, like a whole album playthrough or something. I'm here for Devourment. Haven't seen them in a dog's age. Crushing technical death metal. Green Jelly. I saw Green Jelly about a year and a half ago in San Francisco at DNA Lounge, and I got to get on stage with them for Three Little Pigs and put on one of the masks of their assorted Kader that comes on and does, they have all the fans come up and put on a styrofoam face, and these things are not cleaned or sprayed. I definitely got COVID from this thing. But anyway, Green Jelly, always a banger. Shout out to Bill Manspeaker. If I see him, I might try to just grab him and see if he would do an interview with me. Dead Guy, incredible. Another band, kind of similar to Shudder, I think, in a different way that I saw this band in the early days. Botch, Dillinger Escape Plan, Dead Guy. These are bands that I saw early. Converge, bands that I saw very early on, that I was early on in the underground in. Dead Guy, unfortunately, Devourment, Napalm Death, and Green Jelly all overlap a little bit, which sucks. But Dead Guy and John Bush overlap completely. That sucks. But I'm gonna probably watch Dead Guy, like half a Dead Guy set, and then go see the rest of John Bush. But I've been dying to see this John Bush thing for so long. So I think if I see Dead Guy on Saturday, I'm good. And then Psycho Mike goes solo, not really blocked up by anybody. Ministry and half of Ministry kind of overlaps with Integrity as the final band of the fest. I hope it's Human Furnace, and I'm sorry, I keep saying Human Furnace, that's Ringworm. Ugh, I'm so tired. Integrity is Do It, Hellion. They would probably be great. I definitely had some beef with one of the former Integrity people, but boy, I'm tired. I don't know why I keep making mistakes, but anyway, what a banger time this is going to be. Metal Candy is here. You know what I got to say? Like, I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not perfect, and I know that. I don't mind getting called out when I fuck up. My comment section on social media is a disaster, especially YouTube. We posted a thing about like the Wild Stallions are also not going to play the America 250 thing, and you would not believe the hatred and stupidity from people. They're not even a real band. Why are you so liberal? It's like, it's just like George Carlin used to say, the radio has two knobs. One changes the channel, and the other turns it the fuck off. There's a lot of people you could be watching. If you watched any bit of this, I thank you. But also, if you don't like what we have to say and do, get the fuck out of here. Don't watch. Thanks for everybody that's watching on our different YouTube channels. Ghost Cult Live, at Ghost Cult Keefy. Please give us a subscribe. I will subscribe back to you if you happen to be watching. Man, I'm not infallible. That's what I wanted to say here. I'm not perfect. And I've been having a hard time, a real hard time. But like, I'm getting married soon. I'm starting the rest of my life basically with the person I love the most in the world, and I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to do this. I'm very lucky to get to go to Milwaukee Metal Fest. I'm very lucky if anybody sends me a record or a book or grants me an interview. And I'm feeling a lot of gratitude today and tonight as we are officially into Thursday. I am going to see the Milwaukee Braves in about 12 hours. So I'm going to say goodnight. I will probably be back on around this time tomorrow or earlier, hopefully, depending on how much of a mirror I can watch. And be good out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Milwaukee Metal Fest. I will report back after I've gone. There'll be a whole review. Maybe I'll do a review on here on YouTube. Drop a comment. Let me know if you'd like to see me do reviews of concerts I've seen. I go to many. And that's the deal. Talk to you soon. I'm Keefy. Peace.